Today is a beautiful day in late September. It is perfect weather, gorgeous, comfortable to be outside, and overcast skies, so the lighting isn't very harsh. Well, I thought this was a great day to do my end of the season container review, and I want to go through and failures, successes, and reminders of what to do or not to do last year. I am Shelly, and this is the Edgy Gardener channel, and I'm so glad you found me. Let's start off with one of my favorite pots. So I am sitting in my rooster bed, and this is a full sun bed. We are facing east, and I'm looking at my house right now, so the sun comes up on the front of the house, reaches the peak, and then this area here gets blasted with the afternoon sun. And this pot here I can see from my kitchen window, and it is one of my favorites. If you can see the pot, such a pretty robin eggs blue. And in here I have the dwarf papyrus, it's the little touch. And see how it's just these little poofs up here. And I honestly thought it would get a bit bigger than this. I thought the individual stalks would be more spread out, but it's actually kind of one clump. I was a little bit disappointed in that, but I still love the way it creates this umbrella over the lower parts. This right here is a Super Tunia Vista Hot Pink, and it just wonderfully cascades down the side, and it doesn't get too high, so you can still see these stalks. And then I have the cards here because I can never remember the names when on camera. But this is a Lobularia, and it's just an easy breezy. There was no brand. I think I picked this up at Lowe's, so not a name brand. This is a proven winner, Silver Falls Dichondria, and although it looks really pretty with the coloring between the three, I don't know if it was the best right up against this blue ceramic container. So probably a different color would help show each other off a little bit more. And then I have another proven winners, Super Tunia Priscilla, and this got a little bit dry, so the flowers aren't as profuse as what they were in the past. But these blooms are so very pretty, and they're the double bloom with the purple veining inside. Well, it's a purple flower with dark purple veining inside. And when you put that next to the Lobularia and those purples, I just love that mix. I've enjoyed it so much. And then this is a Dusty Miller, which I think is just a superfluous plant. It did not need to be in here. We don't need the space that it takes up, and I was trying to mirror with the Dusty Miller and the Silver Falls, trying to mirror this lamb's ear down here, but realized later that I didn't really need to do that. There are three papyrus, and one is a Prince Tut, which is what I have. No, I have Little Prince, and then there's a Prince Tut, and I think there's another medium. So maybe I would do the medium size next year. So I think I will do something like this combination next year, the same types of flowers, but maybe just a different color. And I think I'm going to use my Silver Falls elsewhere. This container was a mid-season afterthought, just full of plants that I had planned for other places, but I ran out of room, so then I just stuck them all in this pot together. This is a large galvanized container here, and I have 2 lemon coral sedum in the front there that have spilled over wonderfully. I love the bright chartreuse carpet that gives. And then I have some Proven Winners Buried Treasure strawberries, which they are there and they're surviving, but the lemon coral sedum is really taking over, and it's a little bit bossier than I thought it would be. Plus, poor strawberries get bullied by the sedum, and then this ridiculous Coleus. And this red and green, I don't typically plant these combinations together, but it is striking. I've been very happy, and this Coleus has done so well. And again, this is, I believe this is in the Proven Winners Color Blaze series, so it can take full sun, but that's one plant, one Coleus plant back there, and it has done beautifully. But unfortunately, its happiness, I think, choked out some of the strawberries. So I don't know if these strawberry plants will overwinter I will take out the Coleus and try and bring that inside and overwinter inside. So I don't know if the strawberries will come back if I leave this container where it is. But it's my first year growing these, so I will try that. And I got a lot of strawberries from them, but they were tiny and they were so very bitter. I mean, very bitter. So I had to run in and get a piece of candy when I try them, but I kept on trying them because I figured eventually they're going to be palatable. So this has been a fun experiment, but I think I will use this container a bit differently next year. Okay, I truly don't even want to talk about this one, but full disclosure, I must, because I need to remember what not to do next year. I have some geraniums in here, which for most of the season were barely visible. They just got too dry. They just did not put on a show. Now in September, they are putting on a show. They are bright and they are beautiful and more buds to come, but they just haven't given me enough of a show to plant those next year. So I think I am off of this type of geraniums. I have ones in front and they didn't do well either. And then we have some bacopa here, which I had one season a few years ago that it was just beautiful. Just a big flush carpet coming off of this container, which I love this container. It's a metal container. It came out of my daughter and son-in-law's yard. They didn't want it when they bought the house, so it came to me. And the bacopa, again, I think it needed more water. And I thought I was pretty good with this watering, but you can see from all of this dried flower that I wasn't as good as I thought I was. So again, we're going to do this one differently. And these two pots is in a west facing bed, and this is up against the house here. So they do get the afternoon sun as well, but not as many hours as the first pot that I showed you because they're opposite each other. And then this one down here, another small terracotta pot. You know, I am just, I don't know, on the fence, I guess. This is a pistachio. I think this is proven winners, a pistachio petunia. And then this is a lobularia, I believe. Yep, there's the tag right there, sky blue. Oh, this pistachio is not a proven winners, it's just pistachio cream. So the flowers, pretty, they go well together. It's hard to find just a sky blue. Actually in the camera it looks more purple, but to my eye it's much bluer, so that's weird. But the combination was pretty, but there again did not fill out the pot like I wanted it to. I have some irises folding over into this pot and then a 9-bark right behind it. I thought that the pistachio and the blue and this burgundy would look so pretty together, and it didn't do much. So I think what I will do next year is maybe just some Supertunia Vistas in both of these, maybe the same color or maybe just 2 colors repeated, because I think that will fill the space wonderfully with very, very few plants. I'll just have to pick my colors. Now that I'm doing this video, I seem to have more failures than successes this year, but you know, I did get some enjoyment out of these plants. It's just not everything worked out the way I wanted it to. This pot right here, sorry for the mess, these are my compost bins. This pot was in this shade bed over here, and it was filling in a hole that bothered me. So I just moved this over here and stuck some flowers in here. Now this Ipomea has done beautifully. It just keeps growing, but it's the only thing that did well. I have a caramel heuchera in here that I need to plant in the landscape. I think it was too swallowed by the Ipomea here. And I do have don't remember which this is, but it is a petunia, and this one did not get enough sun, and again it dried out a few times. Then I had an annual dahlia, which it keeps on telling me it's going to bloom, but I've yet to see a bloom on it. And there are a bunch of ants. This was just a bad choice of plants, bad combination on my part. and in the wrong spot. So I have no idea where this container will go next year. And maybe I will repeat the Ipomea. I don't know, can I overwinter this? Can I bring it inside and put it in a window or under grow lights? Because that would be nice. I tend to love the flower color purple, but I love blue pots. So I have a swing here and then 2 blue pots. And my goodness, a hosta that I dug up days ago and I keep forgetting to do something about. Oh, that's horrible, horrible. So, well, back to the pots. This is another combination that just didn't work well, and I knew going into this one that it was very much of a trial. And I have a verbena in here, pretty colors. You know, the variation gives it some interest. And there's the tag verbena lascar pink. And then I have a spider plant that I planted for one of my babies from one of my indoor plants. And then I have a boxwood here. I planted a boxwood hedge this year, and I have 32 boxwoods, and this one just, I didn't need it, so I figured I could put it in here and grow it and maybe build a topiary out of it. But this pot, in its setting, the pink looks nice, but I think I could do more. And I think that although the verbena plant grew, it didn't produce enough flowers. It didn't produce as many flowers as I thought it would or what I wanted it to. So it just doesn't get enough sun. So I think I will leave the boxwood there and put some other plants in it next year. This is another blue pot where I really do like these. This is a Coleus and it's called Elfers. This is so pretty. Look at those leaves. There are so many interesting things happening on that one leaf. And this is one plant. I ordered this online. It came in a tiny, tiny plug, and this is what it became. So very pretty. I started the year out with some Miss Manners obedient plant in the back, but they got really tall and started falling over, and I sacrificed those so I could enjoy my Elfers Coleus. So very pretty. And this spot back here with these 2 blue pots is under some shade trees. So it does not get full sun. See, we are under these trees right here. So it gets some morning sun and then dappled sun throughout the afternoon. Still along this same fence line, which I refer to this to the SHG fence or Hosta row, I'm trying something here, and it is in the very beginning stages. My goal was 3 pencil hollies right here to grow up, and then I wanted, and I'm looking for a pedestal and a concrete urn here and here. So I'd have 3 evergreens and then 2 concrete urns to kind of create this area here. Like I said, this is all sort of replanted this year, so it's not filled in like I like it to be. But this is a container video, not a garden bed video. I can't remember the name of this Coleus, so I will put it on the screen. But that's all this is just an overgrown, ignored Coleus, which striking leaves. I mean, it's done so well. I love those scalloped leaves with that veining. And I'm just a sucker when you get deep purple flowers. I had some white begonias in here, did not make it at all. I had them in several pots, and those begonias, I'm just not a begonia person. There's something about it that we just don't get along. And this pot looked much better before that Coleus completely took off. I think maybe a week, 2 weeks, it's been since I've been out here to trim these flowers back so it would grow out instead of up. You know, that's all I had to do, but I got busy or lazy, probably a little bit of both, and so they got leggy. And you know, we're at end of September, so just another few weeks, and a good frost is going to take these away anyway. Before then, I am going to attempt to overwinter each and every one of my Coleus. No, I'm sorry, just my favorites. There's some Coleus I don't care to grow again next year. But this is one I definitely want. This is more Silver Falls dichondria here. And this stuff is just, again, it's so very pretty. I have some Impatiens in there. And then this is Allison Coleus. The pink, the cream, the white, and then whether this is red or burgundy, I don't know. But these are so very pretty. I did have these out on my patio, which received full sun, and they were not doing well at all. But I put them back here in the shade, and they are so pretty. You can see some of the faded leaves here, but then when they come out, so I guess they grow into their creaminess, and that bright fuchsia turns this hot pink almost. And it looked really good next to these green leaves and the pink flowers of the Impatiens. So I think there are several things I could pair with this one just to show it off, because that is the highlight plant, I think. So I really hope that I can overwinter those and I get to use them next year. I have a container here just of Impatiens. I bought these Impatiens for another project and there were too many of them. So I just put them in this pot, and then there is an asparagus fern in here too that is barely hanging on. That one I will definitely bring inside and try to overwinter, and I hope that fluffs up. Next to it I have a caladium, which I bought only because, well, I bought it late summer. So I knew I wasn't going to get a really great show from it. I thought while I was out here I would check the leaves. Oh no, I don't think that's good. Can you see those little white things? I don't think that's good. Well, and they don't have a name. See the tag right there? It just says caladium. It won't give me the variety of it. But I do love caladiums. And I read for the first time that they're bulbs, and I can dig those up and overwinter them and replant them next year. So that is the plan. I usually don't put a lot of red in my garden, but sometimes the red can feel like a pink. And I like that combination. But that plant could be healthier. This is a side note. This is a black adder Agastache, and it is covered in butterflies, bumblebees, honeybees. I don't know if you can see all of the movement in there, but look at that butterfly way down there. Every time I come over here, there's fluttering all around me. See that? It's so fun. Okay, there are 2 containers back here, and it is, I have a yew and Coleus. I was on a Coleus kick this winter, and some of it I love and some of it I was super disappointed with, but look at this. Look how big that leaf is. And it is just this pretty purple. Now these are dusty leaves. They're very thin, so these need watered. So this isn't their best self. Not at all, but from a distance. Just the coloring is so very pretty. This is a part of the yard that I've just had a hard time getting to. I'll see if I can find the name of that Coleus. I think it's just a rainbow Coleus mix, and I grew these from seed. There's the yew back there, which I wanted to put back here for some height, and then these Coleus were just an experiment of if they were sun or shade. Again, I did have these on the patio in sun, and they did not do well, but as soon as I put them back in a shadier spot, they did really, really well. And they do get morning sun here. And then I have a Coleus over here in the same pot that has the opposite coloring. And I just love those two together. Isn't that neat? So that's an older leaf, and the newer leaves look like that. And I will try to put the name of those on the screen. And then the third Coleus is down here. Look at all of that coloring. And it's going between a few names in my mind, and I don't know which one it is, but I will look it up and put the name on the screen. So, can I get a shot of all three of them? There we go, that's all three of them together. I've been really happy with this Coleus combination, and it's still the tiny, either from seed or tiny plugs, grew a lot of flowers, a lot of foliage. From tiny plugs or seeds, all of this grew into really significant foliage for what it began. And this spot was just a hole in the garden, and I just needed some color. So I'm waiting for this oak leaf hydrangea to get big. I think there are 5 or 6 butterflies on this bush. Can you see that? 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they keep moving. I don't know. How fun. So this video got a lot longer than I ever thought it would be. So I'm going to end it now and call that end of part 1. And the rest of the video will be part 2.